One criticism I've heard recently is that SRXH is just simply a pump and dump. No, it's not a pump and dump. In order for it to be a pump and dump, usually what happens is the volume spikes briefly. There's a very low float. Stock collapses 70 to 90%, and the liquidity completely disappears. But that's not what happened with SRXH. SRXH on the final day had 300 million volume and shares traded. That's incredible. These are really the most likely explanation of why SRXH dropped so much. Multiple things happened at once. Number one, there was a massive supply shock. Even if Eric Jackson's 400 plus million new shares are locked up from the merger closing transaction, the market suddenly learned that the share count increased dramatically. Investors don't just react to shares that could be sold today, they also react to future dilution when there's a lower ownership percentage, when there's changes in valuation per share. It's quite possible that a lot of investors looked at the merger closing, saw hundreds of millions of new shares, and immediately they sold without really looking up the lockup details. A second factor is the arbitrage and merger repositioning. Reverse merger transactions, they often attract event traders and short-term speculators. A lot of investors buy the rumor but sell the news. And because there was some new factors at the merger closing, and also the merging closing removed the uncertainty of the merger, it removed the catalyst that many traders were waiting for. And so those people who are just looking to swing trade and those people who are looking to lock in profits, they also sold. And that connects to the last factor, that our profit after taking a huge run. SRXH had already moved 100%, and it already traded hundreds of millions of shares. There are a lot of people who are just simply locking in gains. And finally, the last point is the market was discovering a new capital structure. Yesterday, the may have been really the first day the market was asking the question, what is SRX Global worth now that the merger is complete? Before, investors were only trading on potential, but after closing, the traders started actually valuing the percentage of Eric Jackson's involvement because he's not the CEO right away. That was definitely a negative catalyst. Um, they were determining the crypto treasury ambitions and potential, the predictive AI narrative, and the much larger share count. And usually, this repricing process, it's messy. It really is. It's not so simple. If it was so simple, then in this classic pump and dump, not only would it have risen, but it would have actually fallen beneath its original starting point. That didn't happen. And so, one thing that you may not have realized is because of that dilution, if SRXH did not rise, to the 20 plus cents per share, if it's stuck at its original 12 cents per share, we may have seen a complete collapse to the 6 to 7 cent per share range. It might have actually been, you know, helping in the long term that it briefly rose and then settled at 12 cents at the end of the day. I know for those investors who joined on the rise, it sucks. It sucks as well for those who have been waiting months patiently. But in the long term, it it I understand that there's so much frustration that it dropped so much on merger closing day, but we still have most of the positive catalysts. We still have the Event Horizon IQ system. We still have the AI Generation 2 crypto treasury narrative. That is still totally in place. What we need to watch out for is how SRXH is promoted moving forward. We have to also watch out carefully if the volume stays strong, but if the price increases, if it grows from this point on, you could just think of this as a major reset before the true valuation of SRXH. But if the price drops steadily, starting on Monday, then that may mean it's just a foreshadowing of what went wrong. You guys already know my position. SRXH is one of the best asymmetric bets on the market. This is just a temporary major resetting, and I truly believe it's going to go up. And so let's watch this carefully together. This is Mr. Yang giving you the down low. Press like and subscribe. Appreciate you all. Thank you.